Peace and love, gamers and players. Colorwind here with another episode of My Gaming Landscape. This time we will be covering the time between May 27th and June 16th of 2019. It's been about 3 weeks since I've done one of these episodes. It's a bit longer than I anticipated, but with E3 2019 having come and gone, I needed some more time because of the festivities. I unfortunately was unable to cover E3 this year because I had a cough. The same cough that I've been trying to get over for going on 3 months now. I have no idea what it is. My doctor is not helping me, but that is besides the case. Today we are talking about video games, and specifically the video games that I have been playing for the past 3 weeks. So let's get started. The first game is Mortal Kombat 11. I have continued to be playing this intermittently throughout the past 3 weeks. I'm not playing it as much as I used to, mostly because I've gotten about everything that I want to get out of this game already. And at this point, I'm just doing Towers of Time, playing a little bit online, and learning new characters. My main is still Frost at the moment, but I'm starting to pick up and learn Scarlet. And she is very good if you know what you're doing. Now, it's not exactly straightforward as to what you need to be doing with Scarlet, mostly just zoning, but it's a lot to do with punishing and zoning. She does, of course, have combos, but a lot of her combos are rather similar, so she's a bit bland in that regard. But then again, that's not really what you're supposed to be doing necessarily with Scarlet. It's really more of keeping the opponent away and taking advantage when they miscalculate a move. Moving on, in the main attraction of this episode, I bought an original Xbox from eBay, and it was a package deal, and it came with a whole bunch of games. I tested all of them to make sure they work, and I'll go through the games that I got later on when I go through the games that I've added to my collection. But I specifically tried out and played 5 games from that collection. Well, 4 technically, because one I already owned. The first one was True Crime Streets of LA. I never played this game back in the day, and playing it now, it is, well, actually that's not entirely true. I remember renting this game from Gamefly, but I did not spend a lot of time with it because I don't believe it caught me back then. But having spent more time with it now, this game, although I can see the appeal of it, is unbelievably janky. I know back then, during the original Xbox and PlayStation 2 GameCube days, open world games were not as polished as they are now. But not even Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, or San Andreas is this unhinged. Characters clip through walls. Some mechanics feel like they don't even work properly sometimes, and there's just a general lack of polish with everything, with the shooting, the aiming, the driving, arresting people. Everything about this game is just so jank. Again, I get the appeal, especially at the time, but I find it really difficult to be able to enjoy myself in this game, and I don't know when I'll touch it again, if ever. Afterwards, I moved on to Pirates of the Caribbean, which was a game that was made before the movie had actually come out. And oddly enough, this game is kind of like a simulation traders kind of deal, and it's extremely slow paced. I mean, it has like some combat mechanics, but they are really unpolished, and it feels like how a combat system would work back then, when that was not going to be your focus. Did not spend a lot of time with that game at all. Next, I played Jet Set Radio Future, which is a game that I already owned and was playing before on the Xbox 360. Not right away, of course, and I hadn't touched it in a while, but I had purchased it before. And this is the first time I had really gotten into this game, and I'm really enjoying myself. Some of the mechanics feel a little like too easy, too automatic, but overall I dig the world, I dig the soundtrack, I like the aesthetic of the game, and I'm currently a little stuck, but I haven't really given a whole lot of time to figure out what it is that I need to do. I think I just went to a level I wasn't supposed to early, and there's another level I should have gone to instead. More importantly though, next, and the one thing that I've been playing the most of on my Xbox, and it's the reason why that's the footage you're looking at currently, I've been playing the original Halo Combat Evolved. I know I could probably play this on the Xbox 360 and make it look better, but I specifically wanted to play it on the original Xbox. And it's still extremely well done. The first Halo is one of my very favorite first-person shooters, and this is the reason why. The campaign is so well done, it's so interesting, I enjoy the story. The levels that you go through are interesting, and it's just a good time. The mechanics are so strong. The shooting feels so good, and all the weapons feel very distinct. The enemies have such character to them, even just the normal grunts and knights that you face, that you don't really care that you end up facing the same enemies over and over again, because in a way it kind of makes sense. Anyway, I've been sort of taking my time with the campaign, but eventually I'll just finish it just by having fun with it. I'm already on mission 4, when I believe there's only 10, so there you go. I probably could have finished it at this time, but again, I've been taking my time. Next on the Xbox, I played the original Soul Calibur 2. This is the version that has Spawn as a secret character, which is quite appropriate, as Spawn is going to be coming to Mortal Kombat 11. I have not been playing much of Spawn though in the game. I've been mostly focusing on unlocking characters through the Edgemaster mode, I believe is what it's called in this game. And I've been doing okay. It's not too difficult to get the first 5 characters or so. I've gotten about, I believe, 3 or 4 of them. I've gotten Yoshimitsu, I've gotten Cervantes, probably another character that I can't remember. I don't believe I've gotten Sofitia and Sungmina yet though. Anyway, been focusing on the story mode, or rather Edgemaster mode, and I'm about 5 chapters in, and once again, that's another game that I've just been taking my time with, and I've been enjoying myself. Soul Calibur 2 is still a whole lot of fun, and it just feels better than Soul Calibur 6 in my opinion. I mean, Soul Calibur 6 was a good game, but like I've mentioned in previous gaming landscapes before, there's something about that game that just does not click well with me, even though I can acknowledge that it's a pretty competent game. Moving on, I have Dangerous Driving on the PlayStation 4. This is made by a studio that's compiled of ex-Criterion Games developers, which are the people who made the original Burnout series. And this game is basically Burnout, just without the multiplayer. It's a whole lot of fun, it feels great, it runs smooth. Really, the only problem with it is that feature-wise, it's bare bones as hell. There's the World Tour mode from Burnout 3 in this game, and that's it. There's no separate crash mode, there's no multiplayer. You can't even necessarily go and just do a single race, like just an exhibition race, and pick the tracks. You can't even do that. It is so featureless, it's kind of a problem. The game doesn't even have its own music other than the one song that plays during the menu. Instead, they tell you to just hook up the game to your Spotify account and play your own music, which is fine and dandy, but I mean, I could have done that anyway. Regardless, the game is a lot of fun, but because there's almost no content to it, the price tag of $30 is actually a bit much. So that was a GameFly rental. I returned it. I do plan on picking it up, but it's got to drop in price because there's nothing on the disc. Actually, I should also mention that there's also a mini game type of thing, a side small game that's also included on the disc, but I didn't really mess with that because I didn't really care. I just wanted Dangerous Driving. Moving on, I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on the PC. I've been wanting to play Tony Hawk game for a while now, and haven't had the time to pick one up, so I just downloaded it on the computer because you can do that. It ran okay. There was some sort of problem with the installation where I was only playing one song over and over again, so that kind of sucked. Especially because the Tony Hawk soundtracks are always really good. I want to hear some AFI, damn it. The boy who destroyed the world. But I went through the career mode with Tony Hawk, and I went all the way through and 100%ed it. I completed all the goals, got all the stat point increases, and got all the decks. Placed first place in all the competition runs. So it was a fun time. I think I'll go back to it maybe when I want to do other characters. But at this moment, I'm kind of putting it aside, mostly because I want to see if I can fix the music issue. That was kind of bugging me. Moving on, I played some Yakuza 4, or Yakuza 0, excuse me, on the PlayStation 4. I just wanted to play something that I really enjoyed while I was sick. And at the height of my illness, I decided to pop back in Yakuza 0 because I love the Yakuza games and I never finished 0. Also didn't finish Kiwami, or Kiwami 2 rather, but I have plans for that. I continued on with the story. I did mostly side missions though, and I did manage to get to the part where we are introduced to Majima and the way that he is in this game, you know, and he's not all wild per se yet and crazy. The game is fun as always. I will say that the game is not that much different from the other Yakuza games, but at this point that doesn't really bother me. I think it probably would bother me if I were to play these games back to back, because then it would feel too similar to each other. But right now, still enjoying myself, still liking it. I plan to continue on with this game when I get the chance. Next, I played Fallout 76 because Bethesda decided to give a free trial for the game during E3, and they said, oh, we fixed a whole bunch of things. So I thought, screw it, maybe they actually did. They did not. I really tried to give the game a fair shake this time. The last time I did, although I think I played a good amount last time as well. Back in, I believe, December when I rented it. I played even longer this time, and I even did more of the story missions, and this game is just bland and boring to its core. I don't really think this game can be fixed. I mean, you can fix all the bugs, you can add extra content, but the actual main quest and the main thing that you're supposed to be doing is just boring and dull, and the world is just an uninhabitable wasteland where really the only thing that you have around you that's alive is trying to kill you. Except for, I guess, the other human players, but even then, they may be nice, but they don't really enhance anything. So, I didn't spend that much time because, once again, this game is just boring. Moving on, I started playing Phantasy Star 2, the original Genesis game, on my phone because I wanted something to play on my phone since I hadn't done that in a while. So I got the Phantasy Star Classics app and started playing Phantasy Star 2 since, if you recall from reading my gaming landscapes from last year, I played through Phantasy Star 3 as my summer RPG game. I guess maybe this will be my summer RPG game for this summer, but I think maybe Phantasy Star 2, since I'm playing on the phone and that's just for me to play on the go, that doesn't really count. I think I'm going to have to pick something else. And I think I have the choice, but I'm not sure yet. Next, I played Tom Clancy's The Division 2 for the same reason that I played Fallout 76. There was a free trial. And this game actually really surprised me. I had no real interest in this game before playing this trial, and the reason was because to me it looked like an MMORPG, and that does not interest me. And while you can play multiplayer and it is an RPG, it's more of an action RPG that's got arcade style combat, specifically the shooting, and I did not know that. Quite frankly, the shooting mechanics feel really good, and the open world that you have is really kind of pretty, and there's, unlike Fallout 76, there's actually things for you to be doing in there. I'm actually quite surprised. I probably would have kept playing if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, the trial ended. So, I think when I have some more time and, you know, the money's right, I'm going to pick this game up. I actually am quite surprised with it. Moving on, I started a playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. This time I'm playing on the PlayStation 3, so there's no mods or anything like the way that I played Final Fantasy VII about 3 or 4 years ago. I've beaten the game now, so I know what's going on, but because of all the hype from E3 and with Remake coming out in March of next year, I decided that I want to play through this game again. So this might be my RPG of the summer, even though it's not an RPG that I've not beaten before. Typically that's the goal of that. Because of that, maybe I will pick something else. I was thinking about Ni no Kuni, but then again, a remaster's coming, but I never finished the original one. I also bought Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I never finished that. I don't know. In the meantime, I am going to be playing Final Fantasy VII just because I'm hyped for the remake. And as for my RPG, my summer RPG, who knows? Maybe that'll be it, maybe it won't be. But so far, I've only played about an hour because when I started it, my controller decided to die. So I'm only in Sector 7, and I'm about to go on the next bombing run. But I'm enjoying it, I'm liking it. My goal this time is to do a completion run. We'll see if I decide to go like all out and like level up all the materia and get all the abilities on all the summon materias. I believe there's 4. Level up all the characters to 99. We'll see what I plan to do. But I do at least plan to do all of the side missions and quests and everything like that. You know, I never fought the ruby and emerald weapons before. I'm going to be doing that this time. Next, I played Banjo-Kazooie on the N64, again because of E3 and the Banjo-Kazooie hype coming from, you know, the characters being in Smash. I decided to do a playthrough on Banjo-Kazooie. And I've done the first world, and the game was just fun and charming as I remember it. And I knew that going in because I've played this game not that long ago. And it's just, Banjo-Kazooie is just a classic. It's always going to be fun. Finally, I should also mention that yes, I will continue to be playing Banjo-Kazooie until it's done, so you'll probably be hearing a bit more about that soon. Finally, I played a game that I've been meaning to play for a very long time, literally 2 years, and it's weird because it's one of my favorite games ever. I played Sonic 3 and Knuckles on my Genesis. I've been wanting to play through this game ever since Sonic Mania came out because I want to compare the two to see if Sonic Mania really is the best Sonic game ever made. I have not completed Sonic 3 and Knuckles yet. I'm almost there though. I'm on Sandopolis on the Sonic and Knuckles side of the game. I've already gotten all the Chaos Emeralds as well as all the Super Emeralds. So at this point I just need to blast through it. And my initial impressions right now are that I don't know if it's better or not. Because I'm really enjoying myself in Sonic 3. I even played more than I anticipated to. I thought I would just get through the first half, which is Sonic 3, and then I'll leave the second half, Sonic and Knuckles part, for another session. But I kept going and played through Mushroom Hill and Flying Battery Zone, as well as got all of the emeralds. I am still undecided. I might have to play Sonic Mania again after this and get, you know, a more current impression of both of those games side by side in my mind before I can decide. It is really close though, I will say that, because there are levels in Sonic 3 and Knuckles that are not in Sonic Mania that do legitimately feel missed. Ice Age is a fantastic zone, and I wish it would have been put in the game. I kind of miss Angel Island as well, although I understand why they didn't put it in because they already put in Green Hill. But Ice Age is missing. There was no casino zone per se in Sonic Mania, and Casino Night would have been fantastic, or not Casino Night, but Carnival Night, Casino Night in Sonic 2. I know everyone has problems with the barrels and having to move them up and down, and then there's that one section in the second act where you're trapped and you have to move it up and down. But I mean, once you know how to do that, it's fine. And then they could have easily have taken that part out from Sonic Mania should they have brought that level back. I understand the absence of launch base, but I don't know. I gotta finish the game, play it more, probably play Sonic Mania again, and then come to some sort of consensus. They might be equal. Who knows? Well, anyway, those are the games that I've been playing for the past 3 weeks, and we're gonna end this episode by talking about the things that I've added to my collection. I bought a couple of Wii extension cables, specifically actually for my classic, my Super Nintendo Classic, because the cables on that are short, and those extension cords will be useful in case I ever get an NES Classic. As I said, I bought an original Xbox, and the games that came with it were Area 51, Burnout 3 Takedown, which I already owned a copy of, but now I got 2, Call of Duty Finest Hour, Conflict Desert Storm, Crimson Skies High Road to Revenge, Doom 3, Driver 3. By the way, Doom 3 on the Xbox looks rough. It does not look good at all, man. Driver 3, Fireblade, Flat Out, Halo Combat Evolved, which I also own, but now I have a box copy, Halo 2, Madden NFL 2005, NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup, NBA Live 2K5 or 2005, NCAA Football 2005, Top Spin, Pirates of the Caribbean, Soul Calibur 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe that's the RPG I should play for the summer. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 06, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon 2 Summit Strike, True Crime Streets of LA. In addition to that, on PC, during a good old game sale, GOG, I got Earthworm Jim 1 and 2, a whole can of worms, Street Fighter Alpha 2, and then I got, because of the free games that were coming out for the Xbox 360, Portal Still Alive, and Earth Defense Force 2017. The PlayStation 4 gave out Sonic Mania for free, but I already had it. But they also gave out Borderlands The Handsome Collection, which I did not, so I picked that up. On PC, via the Twitch free games for the month of June, I got Aegis Defenders, Stick Bold, 10 Second Ninja X, Metronomicon, and then Epic Games gave out their free games, which were Kingdom New Lands and Enter the Gungeon. And then finally, I also got 2 Human for the Xbox 360 because they're just giving it away now since they can't sell it because of the lawsuit that happened with that game. And now finally, even though I haven't really been able to touch it that much, I finally got a copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ on the PlayStation 4 thanks to the sale, the State of Play sale or whatever, that Sony had during E3. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is this episode of My Gaming Landscape. Thank you very much for listening. Now that E3 is gone, I think I'm going to try to make this a more regular series. 3 weeks seems like a very long time. So I'm going to try to go for 2 weeks. 1 week seems like it might be a bit too soon. I might start having less and less to say about the games. So I'm going to go out and try for 2 weeks. So I will see you in this feature again in 2 weeks. Let me know in the comments what you've been playing and what games you've added to your own collections. And I'll catch you then. Peace and love, gamers and players. Colorwind out.